Hello, my friends. Welcome to Inspiring Biography Stories, where we don't just learn about the lives of incredible people, we also improve our English listening skills. Today, I'm beyond excited to share with you the story of one of the most influential and visionary minds of our time, Bill Gates. His journey from a curious young boy fascinated by computers to becoming the CEO founder of Microsoft, one of the most powerful technology companies in the world, is nothing short of extraordinary. From revolutionizing personal computing to leading groundbreaking philanthropic efforts through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, his impact on technology, business, and global health is unmatched. This story will not only inspire you to think big and embrace innovation, but also remind you that with knowledge, determination, and generosity, you can truly change the world. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the incredible life of Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the man who changed technology and philanthropy. In the world of technology, few names are as powerful as Bill Gates. Born in Seattle, he had a passion for computers from a young age. In 1975, Gates and his childhood friend Paul Allen started a company that would change the world, Microsoft. With brilliant ideas, smart business strategies, and a competitive spirit, Gates helped Microsoft become the largest software company in the world. His success made him one of the richest people on the planet, but his impact didn't stop with technology. In 2000, he stepped down as Microsoft's CEO and founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation with his then wife, Melinda French Gates. Their goal? To help people worldwide by improving healthcare, education, and fighting poverty. After 27 years of marriage, Bill and Melinda divorced in 2021, but they continue to work together on global philanthropic projects. Today, Bill Gates is not only a technology pioneer but also one of the world's most influential philanthropists. His story proves that success is not just about wealth, it's about making a difference. Bill Gates, a curious mind from the start. Bill Gates, whose full name is William Henry Gates III, was born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington. His father, William H. Gates II, was a lawyer, while his mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, worked as a teacher before becoming involved in business and charity work. She was a trailblazer, becoming the first woman on the board of First Interstate Bank of Washington and the first female chair of United Way International. Bill grew up in an upper-middle-class family with his two sisters, Christian and Libby. His parents encouraged their children to be competitive and ambitious. Even as a child, Bill was extremely determined, whether it was playing board games like Risk and Monopoly or organizing family sports competitions at their summer house. Bill had a strong bond with his mother, who often took him along when she worked on community projects and charities. These experiences later shaped his own philanthropic efforts. But more than anything, Bill loved to read. He spent hours devouring books, especially encyclopedias. However, around the age of 11 or 12, his parents started to worry about him. He was smart but often seemed bored and distant. They feared he might become too isolated. Wanting to challenge their son, his parents enrolled him in Lakeside School, an elite private school in Seattle, when he was 13 years old. There, Bill thrived. He excelled in math and science, but he also did exceptionally well in drama and English. Bill Gates, the student who became a tech visionary while studying at Lakeside School. Bill Gates had his first real experience with computers. A Seattle-based company provided computer time for students, and the school's Mothers Club bought a teletype terminal for them to use. One of his first projects was creating a tic-tac-toe game in basic programming language, where users could play against the computer. At Lakeside, he met Paul Allen, a student 2 years older than him. The two became close friends, bonding over their shared love for computers. They often worked on coding projects together, though they sometimes argued over who was right. At one point, Allen even banned Gates from the computer lab because of a disagreement. Their passion for technology got them into trouble as well. Gates and Allen hacked into the school's computer system to get free computer time, which led to their computer privileges being revoked. However, they were later allowed back in when they offered to fix software bugs for the company that provided the computers. By age 15, Gates and Allen were ready to turn their skills into business. They created a company called TIFO Data, which designed a system to analyze Seattle's traffic patterns. Their work earned them $20,000, a huge achievement for teenagers. They dreamed of starting a tech company, but Gates' parents wanted him to finish school and become a lawyer. Despite his interest in computers, Gates was a brilliant student in other areas as well. When he took the SAT, he scored 1,590 out of 1,600, an incredible achievement that he proudly mentioned when meeting new people. His estimated IQ was around 160. In 1973, Gates graduated from Lakeside and enrolled at Harvard University, intending to study law. However, his true passion remained computers, and he spent more time in the computer lab than in class. He didn't have a strict study routine, but managed to pass his exams by cramming at the last minute. Meanwhile, Paul Allen left Washington State University and moved to Boston to work at Honeywell. In December 1974, Allen showed Gates an article in Popular Electronics about the Altair 8800, a new personal computer made by MIT's, a company in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Seeing an opportunity, Gates and Allen contacted MIT's, claiming they were developing a basic programming language for the Altair. The truth, they didn't have the computer or the code yet. They just wanted to see if MIT's was interested. To their excitement, MIT's president Ed Roberts asked for a demonstration. For the next 2 months, Gates and Allen worked day and night writing the software at Harvard's computer lab. When Allen traveled to Albuquerque for the final test, he had never actually tried running the program on an Altair computer, but it worked perfectly. MIT's immediately hired Allen, and soon after, Gates left Harvard to join him. This bold decision marked the beginning of Microsoft and the start of a revolution in personal computing, the birth of Microsoft, a new era of technology. In July 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded Microsoft, a combination of the words microcomputer and software. Within a year, they removed the hyphen, and Microsoft was born. Their first product was a basic programming language designed for the Altair computer. However, success didn't come easily. Their deal with MIT's earned them some royalties, but it wasn't enough to cover expenses. Microsoft was still a small company, struggling to survive in the growing computer industry. One major challenge was software piracy. Microsoft's basic software was popular, but according to Gates, only 10% of users had actually paid for it. Many computer enthusiasts believed that software should be shared freely, rather than being sold for profit. Gates strongly disagreed. In February 1976, he wrote an open letter to computer hobbyists, arguing that software piracy was theft. He warned that if people didn't pay for software, developers would stop creating high-quality programs. His letter angered many in the tech community, but Gates stood by his beliefs. This was just the beginning of his firm stance on software licensing, which would later help Microsoft become a global powerhouse. Challenges and growth. While fighting software piracy, Gates also faced problems with MIT's president Ed Roberts. Their working relationship became tense, with frequent arguments over business decisions. Roberts saw Gates as stubborn and demanding, while Gates believed Microsoft deserved more control over its software. In 1977, Roberts sold MIT's, leaving Gates and Allen to fight for their software rights. The new company refused to recognize Microsoft's ownership of the Altair basic software, forcing them to sue for control. After a legal battle, Microsoft won the rights, allowing them to sell their software to other companies. With new opportunities opening up, Gates decided to move Microsoft's headquarters. In 1979, at just 23 years old, he relocated the company from New Mexico to Bellevue, Washington, near his hometown of Seattle. At this time, Microsoft was still a small operation. Employees worked in multiple roles, handling software development, marketing, and business operations. Gates himself was deeply involved in every aspect of the company. He personally reviewed every line of code, often rewriting it if he wasn't satisfied. A rapid rise to success. Despite its rocky beginnings, Microsoft quickly gained momentum. By the end of 1979, the company had earned $2.4 million in revenue and had grown to 28 employees. Gates had transformed a struggling startup into a fast-growing tech company, and he was just getting started. This was the beginning of Microsoft's journey to becoming the world's leading software company. Gates' determination, vision, and business strategy would soon change the future of technology forever. Bill Gates and the IBM deal, the turning point for Microsoft. By the early 1980s, the computer industry was booming, with companies like Apple, Intel, and IBM developing new hardware and components. Bill Gates worked hard to promote Microsoft's software, traveling frequently and even bringing his mother, Mary Gates, along. Mary was a respected businesswoman who sat on several corporate boards, including United Way of America. Through her connections, she met John Opel, the chairman of IBM. Thanks to her influence, IBM executives learned about Microsoft, setting the stage for one of the biggest deals in tech history. IBM approaches Microsoft. In November 1980, IBM was looking for an operating system for its upcoming personal computer PC. They approached Microsoft to discuss possibilities. At their first meeting, someone at IBM reportedly mistook Gates for an office assistant and asked him to serve coffee. Gates, who looked very young at the time, quickly proved them wrong. He impressed IBM's executives with his confidence and expertise, convincing them that Microsoft could provide the software they needed. But there was one major problem. Microsoft didn't actually have an operating system yet. The secret deal that changed everything. Instead of admitting they lacked an operating system, Gates bought an existing one from a small software company. The system, which was designed for computers similar to IBM's, cost him just $50,000. He then modified it to work with IBM's PC. What the original software developers didn't know was that Gates had already secured a deal with IBM. When they found out, they sued Microsoft, accusing Gates of hiding important information. Microsoft later settled the case out of court, but never admitted to any wrongdoing. Gates' smart business move. IBM wanted to buy the source code of the operating system, which would have given them full control. But Gates had a different plan. Instead of selling it, he offered IBM a licensing deal, meaning IBM would pay Microsoft for each copy of the software sold. This was a brilliant business move. By keeping ownership of the software, Microsoft could sell it to other PC manufacturers when they started cloning IBM's computers. And that's exactly what happened. Microsoft named the software MS-DOS, and it quickly became the standard operating system for personal computers worldwide. Microsoft's rapid growth. Following the success of MS-DOS, Microsoft grew at an incredible rate. 1980 to 1981, the company's staff increased from 40 to 129, and sales jumped from $8 million to $17.3 million. June 1981, Microsoft became an incorporated company. Gates was named president and chairman of the board, while Paul Allen became executive vice president. By 1983, Microsoft had expanded globally, opening offices in the UK, France, and Germany. 30% of the world's computers were running Microsoft software. Paul Allen's departure. In 1983, Paul Allen was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a serious form of cancer. After intensive treatment, his condition went into remission, but he decided to leave Microsoft. Even though he resigned from his role, Allen remained on Microsoft's board of directors. A billion-dollar future. With MS-DOS dominating the market, Microsoft had become a major force in the tech industry. But Gates wasn't done yet. His next big innovation, Windows, would take Microsoft to an entirely new level. The birth of Windows. How Microsoft changed computing forever. In the early 1980s, Microsoft and Apple were not just rivals, they were also collaborators. In 1981, Apple's Steve Jobs invited Bill Gates and his team to develop software for the upcoming Macintosh computers. Microsoft worked closely with Apple, learning about graphical user interfaces GUI, a system where users could interact with a mouse, icons, and images instead of just text-based commands. At the time, MS-DOS, Microsoft's main operating system, was text-based. Users had to type commands and read lines of code to operate their computers. But the Macintosh's graphic interface made computers much easier to use, allowing users to click on icons, move windows, and see images on the screen. Gates sees the future. Gates quickly realized that this new interface could threaten Microsoft. If people preferred user-friendly graphics, they might stop using MS-DOS altogether. So, in a bold move, he announced Windows software in a huge advertising campaign before Microsoft even started developing it. This was a brilliant strategy. At the time, 30% of the market was using MS-DOS, and many users trusted Microsoft. Instead of switching to a new system, they decided to wait for Windows because users stayed loyal to Microsoft. Software developers ignored competing systems and rival companies like VisiCorp lost momentum. Nearly 2 years later, in November 1985, Microsoft finally launched Windows. The new system was strikingly similar to Apple's Macintosh with its colorful icons, windows, and a user-friendly design. Apple vs. Microsoft, the legal battle. Apple was furious. They had given Microsoft access to their technology, believing that Gates was only developing Microsoft applications for Apple computers, not a competing operating system. Gates had actually advised Apple to license their software, meaning they could sell Macintoshes systems separately and allow other companies to use it. But Apple refused, wanting to focus on selling Mac computers instead. Seeing an opportunity, Gates created Windows, a software that could run on any computer, not just one brand. This move completely changed the tech industry, giving Microsoft a huge advantage over Apple. Apple threatened to sue, claiming Microsoft had copied their design, but Gates fought back, warning that if Apple sued, Microsoft would delay its software for Macintosh computers, which Apple needed. In the end, Microsoft won the legal battle. The court ruled that while Windows and Macintosh looked similar, each software had unique features and operated differently. Windows takes over the world. By the late 1980s, Windows became the dominant operating system, running on millions of computers worldwide. This success helped Microsoft become the most powerful software company of its time. With Bill Gates' sharp business instincts and strategic moves, Microsoft didn't just compete with Apple, it overtook it. And with Windows, Gates had forever changed how people used computers. Microsoft Office, market domination, and legal battles. By the late 1980s, Bill Gates had built Microsoft into the most powerful software company in the world. But with success came competition and controversy. As Microsoft grew, other tech companies, including IBM, tried to develop a new operating system called OS/2 to replace MS-DOS. Instead of backing down, Gates pushed forward, making Windows even better. In 1989, Microsoft launched Microsoft Office, a groundbreaking suite of software tools including Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. These programs worked seamlessly with Windows, making it easier than ever to write documents, create presentations, and manage data. The strategy worked. In 1990, Microsoft released Windows 3.0, which became an instant success, selling 100,000 copies in just 2 weeks. IBM's OS/2 failed to compete, and soon Microsoft dominated the PC market. Microsoft faces antitrust investigations. With Windows on nearly every computer, Microsoft had a virtual monopoly over operating systems. This caught the attention of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission (FTC), which began investigating Microsoft's business practices. Throughout the 1990s, Microsoft faced multiple lawsuits from the FTC and the U.S. Department of Justice. Some of the biggest accusations included unfair agreements with PC manufacturers, forcing them to install Windows on their computers, requiring companies to bundle Internet Explorer with Windows, making it harder for competitors like Netscape to succeed. At one point, Microsoft almost faced a forced breakup, with the US government considering splitting the company into 2 parts. 1. Operating Systems Division. 2. Software Development Division. Gates and his legal team fought back, arguing that breaking up Microsoft would slow innovation. Eventually, Microsoft reached a settlement with the US government, avoiding a full breakup. Gates' public image and Microsoft's expansion. Despite the lawsuits, Gates remained a public figure, often appearing in humorous commercials and tech conferences. At one event, he even dressed as Mr. Spock from Star Trek, showing his playful side. In 1997, Microsoft made another major move by purchasing Hotmail, one of the first free web-based email services. It was later rebranded as MSN Hotmail, and in 2012, it became Microsoft Outlook. By the end of the 1990s, Microsoft had become an unstoppable force. 31,000 employees worldwide, $19.7 billion in sales, 1999. A new era for Microsoft. Gates had turned Microsoft into the most dominant software company on the planet. But with increasing legal battles and growing competition, a new chapter was about to begin, one that would shift Gates' focus from technology to philanthropy. Bill Gates steps away. A new chapter begins. After 25 years leading Microsoft, Bill Gates made a surprising announcement in January 2000. He was stepping down from his daily role at the company. At just 44 years old, he handed over the position of CEO to his college friend Steve Ballmer, who had been with Microsoft since 1980. However, Gates wasn't leaving completely. He took on the role of chief software architect, focusing on technology and innovation, which had always been his true passion. He also remained chairman of the board, ensuring his influence at Microsoft continued, shifting focus to philanthropy. In 2006, Gates announced that he was gradually stepping away from Microsoft to dedicate more time to his philanthropic work. 2 years later, in June 2008, he officially worked his last full day at Microsoft at the age of 52. For several years, Gates remained Microsoft's chairman, but in February 2014, he took another step back, becoming a technology advisor to the company's new CEO, Satya Nadella. Finally, in March 2020, he resigned from the board of directors, completely marking the end of his official leadership at the company. Microsoft's continued growth. Even after leaving, Gates never fully walked away. In January 2025, he revealed that he still occasionally reviews Microsoft products and offers advice when needed. Meanwhile, Microsoft has continued to thrive, becoming one of the top 5 tech companies in the US. Today, its products go far beyond Windows, Microsoft Office now, Microsoft 365, laptops, tablets, and Surface devices, the Xbox gaming system, Bing search engine, AI-powered Microsoft Edge browser, Windows 11 released in 2021, a legacy beyond technology. Though he built one of the most powerful tech companies in history, Bill Gates' greatest impact may not be in technology, but in philanthropy. By leaving Microsoft, he shifted his focus to solving global issues, proving that true success isn't just about innovation, it's about making the world a better place. Bill Gates, a billionaire's journey. As of February 12, 2025, Bill Gates' net worth is estimated to be $107.3 billion, according to Forbes. This places him as the 16th richest person in the world. However, the Bloomberg Billionaires Index values his fortune at a much higher $166 billion, ranking him 7th globally. His wealth fluctuates significantly, mainly due to his large stock holdings. How Gates became a billionaire. Gates officially became a millionaire in March 1986 at the age of 30 years and 5 months, thanks to Microsoft's IPO initial public offering. When Microsoft went public, he sold $1.6 million worth of shares but still retained 45% ownership of the company, which was valued at $350 million at the time. Just a year later, in 1987, Microsoft's stock price soared to $90.75 per share, making Gates the world's youngest billionaire at age 31. More than just wealth. Although Gates remains one of the wealthiest people on Earth, his biggest legacy isn't just his money, it's his impact on technology and global philanthropy. His journey from a young tech genius to a billionaire philanthropist proves that success is about more than wealth, it's about making a difference. A major leadership change. In June 2024, Melinda left the foundation following her divorce from Bill Gates. After her departure, the organization was renamed the Gates Foundation, with Bill continuing to serve as CEO chair and board member. Bill Gates and Melinda French Gates, a life of partnership and change. For nearly 30 years, Bill Gates was married to Melinda French Gates, and together they built both a family and a philanthropic empire. Building a family. Just a few months after their wedding, tragedy struck when Bill's mother passed away from breast cancer. This loss led Bill and Melinda to take time off in 1995 to travel and reflect on life. The following year, in April 1996, they welcomed their first child, Jennifer. Shortly after, Melinda left Microsoft to focus on raising their family. Their second child, Rory, was born in May 1999, followed by their youngest daughter, Phoebe, in September 2002. Although Bill grew up Protestant, he and Melinda raised their children in the Catholic faith and regularly attended church as a family. The end of a marriage. After 27 years together, Bill and Melinda announced their separation in May 2021, releasing a joint statement. After a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. We no longer believe we can grow together as a couple in this next phase of our lives. Their divorce was finalized in August 2021, marking the end of one of the most high-profile marriages in the world. In May 2022, Bill reflected on their separation in an interview with the Sunday Times, stating, "From my point of view, it was a great marriage. I wouldn't have changed it." He also said that as their children grew up and moved out, their relationship changed. Despite the divorce, he still felt lucky that they continued to work together at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates' new relationship, Paula Heard. In February 2023, it was confirmed that Bill Gates had started dating Paula Heard, a philanthropist and the widow of former Oracle CEO Mark Heard. Their relationship became more public over time, and in 2025, Gates openly referred to Paula as his serious girlfriend during an interview on the Today Show. When asked about their time together, he smiled and said, "We're having fun, going to the Olympics, and lots of great things." Though Gates has largely kept his personal life private, his relationship with Heard shows that he is embracing a new chapter in both his personal and professional life. Bill Gates' high-tech mansion, Xanadu 2.0. In 1997, Bill Gates and his family moved into their massive 37,000 square foot mansion on the shores of Lake Washington in Medina, Washington. The home, nicknamed Xanadu 2.0, was designed to be both a high-tech business center and a comfortable family home for Gates, Melinda, and their 3 children. Over the years, the estate doubled in size, now spanning an incredible 66,000 square feet. It is one of the most expensive private homes in the US, with an estimated value of $130 million. A home built for innovation, Xanadu 2.0 is famous for its cutting-edge technology and eco-friendly design. The house features smart home technology, allowing guests to control lighting, temperature, and music with wearable sensors. A massive library, rumored to include Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester, which Gates purchased for $30.8 million. A 60-foot swimming pool with an underwater music system. A home theater, large enough for 20 guests. A trampoline room, perfect for fitness and fun. A gym, conference rooms, and a dining hall that can seat up to 24 people. Bill Gates' most inspiring quotes. "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Lesson: failure is just as important as success. Overconfidence can be dangerous. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll end up working for one." Lesson: intelligence and innovation shape the future, so respect the thinkers. We are all created equal in the virtual world, and we can use this equality to help address some of the sociological problems that society has yet to solve in the physical world. Lesson: technology has the power to bridge gaps and solve real-world problems. I'm a big believer that, as much as possible, and there's obviously political limitations, freedom of migration is a good thing. Lesson: borders shouldn't stop talent and ideas from spreading. If you show people the problems and you show people the solutions, they will be moved to act. Lesson: raising awareness is the first step toward real change. Like almost everyone who uses email, I receive a ton of spam every day. Much of it offers to help me get out of debt or get rich quick. It would be funny if it weren't so irritating. Lesson: even billionaires can't escape email spam. The technology business has a lot of twists and turns. Probably the reason it's such a fun business is that no business gets to rest on its laurels. Lesson: in tech, you must keep innovating or risk falling behind. Which one of these quotes resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments.